Why are all Indo-Iranian people of Central Asia classified as Iranic, specifically Eastern Iranic, when they either seem to be equally close to Indians and Iranians or closer to Indians? Even modern Eastern Iranic, like Pashtuns, are genetically closest to Northwestern Indians. Do you think Eastern Iranic is a misnomer? See, there has been this concerted effort in the West. See, today, who has written our history? It's the Westerners who have written our history. They've written the histories of the world, of the countries of the world. When it comes to the history of Persia, they will draw upon Persian sources, but they will come to their own conclusions. So the history of the world, the way we read it, the way we are taught it, is written by Westerners. Now, for the West, India was a civilization to be destroyed. That attempt is still going on to destroy India's civilization, culture, etc. It's still ongoing. So when they see us as a civilization to be destroyed, because they want to make the entire world a monotheistic place, right? In that case, you have to erase Indian history. You have to erase any signs of Indian greatness. And you have to justify your destruction of India, right? Because the British ruled India for 2.5 centuries. They had to justify the destruction of India. So what do you do to justify that? You portray the Indians as barbaric, savages, backward, primitive people who have all these horrible problems in society, and they deserve to be ruled by white people. That's what you have to portray India as. So you have to erase any aspect of Indian history that shows that India was great. Now, it's known that Indians in ancient times did venture out into Central Asia and various parts of the world and settle these places. For example, before the Turkification, Islamization of Central Asia was Hindu-Buddhist, all of it. You still have stupas in Turkmenistan and Kazakhstan and whatnot, all across Central Asia, even in so-called Xinjiang. Even in Armenia, you will find Hindu temples that were repurposed into churches those have now been repurposed in Artasak, etc., into mosques. You will find statues of Bhagwan Vishnu. You'll find them in Russia. So Indians were spread all across Central Asia, and Indians established kingdoms and dynasties in Central Asia. And these eventually intermingled with local peoples, and maybe the genetic makeup became mixed, but these were still culturally Indian. So to deny India's greatness, to justify your destruction of India and your plunder of India, you have to deny these things. So what do? You classify all these various Central Asian peoples as Iranic, not Indian. The Scythians, the Shakas, Iranic. The Pashtuns, Iranic. Everything Iranic. Nothing Indian. You deny any presence of India anywhere. India was a backward, poor, society. Nothing great ever came out of India. That's how you justify your rule over India. And that attitude has continued even after the British Raj ended, because the British Raj has never ended. The British Empire has simply transformed into a different entity, which is the American Empire. And the same thought process continues, and they still seek to subjugate India. They still seek to destroy Indian civilization. Those efforts are ongoing right now on India's soil, right? So that is the reason why you have what you have described here. That Central Asian peoples are all described as Iranic. The Scythians are described as Iranic. The Pashtuns are described as Iranic. The Pashtuns are an extension of the northern Indian population, but genetically and culturally very clearly so. But they'll be described as Iranic.